Hey guys, if you caught the review video of this Savage Axis and 6.5 Creed here, we didn't get too great of accuracy results in that video using some Winchester ammo. If you missed that video and you would like to see it, I'll go ahead and put a link in the description for that. In that video, I made mention this was my buddy's rifle, and I had experience in the past shooting it with S&B 140 grain FMJ, and at least on the one 3-shot group I took, it was sub MOA. I was not happy with the results from the Winchester. They were 120 some odd grain. So we got S&B here today, 140 grain. Now, I mentioned they were FMJs. 3 weeks ago when I tried to order those, nobody had them in stock anywhere, and that includes the internet. But these soft points were everywhere. So I thought perhaps S&B discontinued the FMJ in 140 grain. So I reluctantly went ahead and got these soft points, thinking that was the case. Went to head out today, checked real quick. Lo and behold, everybody has the 140 grain FMJs in stock now. So I guess that's good news, because I know this rifle likes them. And now I know they were not, in fact, discontinued. So I'm not sure why everyone was out of stock and now they have them. So hopefully it shoots these soft points just as good or close to as good. Because, you know, the soft point's what you would use for hunting anyways, if you're going to use a 6.5 for hunting, which this is obviously kind of geared towards that with the camouflage, and it's a budget rifle and all that. So, you know, typically you're not using one like this to try and shoot 1,000 yards. So, but anyways, let's put these soft points through it, 140 grain, and see how well she shoot these. Fingers crossed. And there's the stats on those. 2,658 feet per second, 2,195 foot-pounds of energy. There's for 100 yards, 200, 300, 400. And there's your bullet drop as well if you're zeroed for 100. And guys, for things I cannot link to on YouTube, make sure you check out my campsite page. But for everything else, I use shooting bag, chronograph, target stand, paper targets. I use steel targets, safety glasses, earmuffs, and way more. Links in the description for all that. Sorry about the lighting. It's kind of like dark under here and super bright out there, so it's looking darker on camera. Anyways, this is our setup. Just be shooting off my Caldwell bag here, which is what I always shoot off of. So with a rifle that's capable enough that I like the trigger and all that, I can shoot sub MOA off of that bag, no problem. So if she's sub MOA, I would be able to do it off the bag. I'm a little better with a rear bag and all that, and eventually I'm going to invest in that and whatnot, but we're just shooting off this bag today. Plenty of rifles on the channel I've gotten sub MOA off of that bag, but she would do a little better with a rear rest there. So target down there at 100 yards. I'm just going to zoom you guys in on the target. We do 4 groups. You know, even the real high-end rifles that give you a sub MOA guarantee, they're almost always a 3-shot guarantee, not a 5-shot. Especially if you got a pencil barrel like that. So that's what we'll do. We'll do 3-shot groups. And the reason they do that is because typically after 3 shots, your group sizes start to open up because your barrel starts to heat up and flex and whatnot. So we'll do 3 cold, immediately followed by 3 hot. And then we'll let her cool off for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Take it out of the sun. And then we'll do 3 more cold bore. And then 3 more immediately following, and see what we get. Also, when I'm done, I got a target set out there, 16-inch steel gong, 400 yards, center of your screen there. You can't really see it here, but there's a giant mud pit full of water right now, about 50 yards further, so I cannot get back there to the 500-yard mound. Otherwise, I was going to set it up on 500. So when we're done printing groups here, we'll reach out to that 400-yard target and see what we can do. Shooting groups. I'm just going for the center now. For some reason, there's a little spot next to that left dot. It's just like a scratch or something, so it's not a hole.
I actually had to sight this in off camera. I forgot I put a different scope up for this video. So I got it close shooting debris in the dirt, and I'm just checking zero now on the center oval before we start shooting groups on those little dots.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. 2 shots practically touching. they're a little right of the center bullseye there, so I need to bring it a little more to the left. So she's a little hot right now. Like I said, there's probably some shots omitted from this video once I realized I was a ding-dong. But we'll go ahead and take a 3-shot group. I can keep my hand on it for a few seconds, but it's getting up there in temp. And then we're going to let it cool off for about 10 minutes. Where the heck are we here? And then we'll take a couple more groups. So this is also kind of just to check my zero. So, Jesus, come on. Oh my God. I need a new freaking camera stand. Anyways, previously I was just aiming for the center. We got 2 touching off to the right. I made the adjustments. Should be pretty dang close now. I'm going to go ahead and go for that dot on the right that the other 2 clustered next to. So here we go, 3-shot group on the right on kind of a hot barrel.
These are hitting pretty much the same spot that's already there, just high and to the left of that right dot. And I take you down there and show you in just a second.
All right. While we let this cool, I think I'm going to go ahead and take you guys down there and give you a look. So I'm a little too far left now because I was aiming at that right dot. Got to bring it back a tad. But yeah, that is the accuracy I remember. So thankfully, not only does she like the 140 FMJs by S&B, but it also likes these soft points by them. And that is a laser rangefinder confirmed 100 yards, guys. This first mount here is 50, that's 100. But as I said, laser rangefinder confirmed. It's actually saying we're at 101.7 right now, 101.7 yards. If you guys are looking to get yourself a good budget rangefinder, been using this one for years. It's still on the original battery. It comes in well under $100. There's a link in the description for that if you're looking to get one. Alright, so this is what we're looking at, guys. Like I said, this is just a scratch here, if you could even see that. I did not bring a tape measure because they're all kind of conjoined. I'm like, well, I don't know which is which, but I'm pretty sure those were the first 2 shots when we was aiming here, and it went 1, 2. And then these are the 3 shots we just took at this. After my adjustments, we went 1, 2, 3. Both of those are sub MOA. That's about 3/4 of an inch right there. That's probably a 1/2 inch to a hair over. I'll get a tape measure on that by the end of the video and prove it to you guys. So yeah, this thing is shooting just like I remember with those S&B's 140s. Freaking tack driver. With the Winchesters, man, it was like this. It was like 2 some inches. Terrible. Loves these. Alright, I think it's been 6 or 7 minutes. She's just lukewarm there, so by the time we get set up again, get it reloaded and all that, it'll be 10 minutes, pretty much cold bore. So whew, honestly, I've been out here for I think I'm going on 5 hours now recording. It was a lot sunnier and warmer today than I thought. I'm a little dehydrated right now. It's breezy, just shooting off the bag, and I'm a little hot and dehydrated, so when my heart's beating a little harder, I can see it like pulse in the scope. So I'm dealing with that right now, and I still shot that group. But most likely our groups are going to open up here due to me being fatigued. Plus the pressure's on to replicate that. So don't be surprised if our groups open up a little bit. I would love to just quit while I'm ahead and be like, see, told you so. Sub MOA, no problem. But I know you guys came here for more than one stinking group. So I'll try to give that to you here. But again, I'm a little fatigued. So that's going to affect me a little bit. Also, that's what that freaking heavy trigger. I mean, a lot of you guys are going to say 5-6 pounds not heavy. You know, that's just fine for hunting. But for trying to print itty bitty little tight groups like that is not ideal. But we're still getting it done. But I'm probably going to see it open up some. I wouldn't be surprised if I hit an inch, 1.25 down there now. Which honestly, I would still be happy with that. For a bottom of the barrel, you know, cheap as they come, 6.5 Creed. So hopefully I can keep it under an inch. But excuses, right? And then we'll still reach out and hit that guy at 400 here. So let me get set back up. We'll do a couple more groups. 400 yards. Wrap this up.
All right, I think we'll go for the dot on the left now and then the dot on the top. And actually, I'm going to give it a few clicks too to try to line it up a little better before we take these shots. Pretty breezy off to the right. I'm going to try to wait a second, see if it'll calm down.
Again, dot on the left first and then the dot on the top.
Well, it just kicked up there again. I gotta wait a second. Actually, it's touching the right edge of it. I keep getting confused with that scratch down there. So it's on bullseye, just the top right edge of it. That hit the same hole. That one hit the bullseye as well. Off to the left edge and a little lower, but the lower part, probably off to the left part, is due to me because I did pull that low a little bit. I noticed as soon as the trigger went off, I was a little low. And once again, it's less than an inch group down there. Now I should really quit while I'm ahead. If it goes well, I'll include this other group here. Well, I guess you guys are going to see it anyways during the measurement. Take one more at the top there. Keep in mind the gun is heated up now though. I'm also trying a different way of holding onto the rifle for this group, so it may open up because of that as well, but I want to give it a shot. Yep. That last shot I knew as soon as it went off, I pulled it to the right, and it is off to the right there, but still about a 1-inch group. And that I did not like that method of holding it as much.
So the previous group, I was supporting the rifle up here while shooting. That last group there, I put, kind of wrapped my arms around back here to make like a makeshift rear bag, and believe it or not, at least the way I was doing it, I was less steady. So I think that's part of the reason. Like I called it that last one. Like I can't yell it out in a fraction of a second. High right, but I knew I pulled that shot. So I think we got 4 left. We got 5 left. So let's take some shots out there at 400. Like I said, there's probably some stuff omitted earlier. I was trying to figure out why it was 3 feet low and forgot that I had a different scope on there than before. So 0 for 100. It's saying 33 inches low at 400. And that's if you're getting that velocity. I'll put the barrel specs up now, but that velocity is probably for a longer barrel than what we got today, so it might drop a smidge more. So there's our target, 16-inch steel gong. So I'm just going to have to guess. This is not a mil dot scope or anything like that. Which, by the way, that's a $50 CV Life scope. But back when I had my 25-06, my buddy actually has a 25-06 now, the same buddy that I got the 6.5 Creed off of. I was drilling headshots with that $50 scope out there 540 yards clear to the back. So crazy. $50 CV Life, man. I think it's my first ever CV Life scope review if you want to check it out. It's in the parts, accessories, and optics playlist. So you can either shuffle that by oldest to find it right away, but there's lots of other good stuff and tons of other CV Life scopes in there as well if you want to check that out. So I'm going to guess high about 33 inches here, and we'll see where the first shot goes. If I miss, we'll adjust accordingly. Of course, I guess I could dial that, but I'm not going to mess with that scope. Plus, I don't know how well it tracks for being a $50 scope. I'm just going to leave it 0 for 100, and we'll just aim high here. You guys should be able to see we got like a constant breeze off to the right there, so that wind is going to push that bullet off to the right some. If it doesn't calm down here in a second, I'm just going to have to hold off to the left slightly. But here we go.
Alright, I was aiming left edge. I was holding where I thought it should impact. I saw we were close there, but I didn't see exactly where it hit. I got to review the footage here to see where I need to move. Alright, looks like it was a few inches low there, so I got to aim a little bit higher. Like I said, their velocity rating is probably out of a longer barrel, which means we're going to get a little more drop with a shorter barrel than whatever they got the velocity from, provided that our velocity is lower. So you got to aim a few inches higher here, and we should be able to get it now. And it looked like the wind hold was about right. Like I said, I was off the left edge there, and it seemed center other than it was low. And it looks like it's coming at an angle from you guys, because it is, because I'm off to the right side of this camera, shooting across the camera's view to the target. Currently the wind has died down. I should be able to aim dead on at the moment.
Gonna give you guys a slow-mo on this one after the shot. You can kind of see the bullet arc in from the right side.
Alright, that first one was a little high left, and I was aiming kind of high just in case because we were low on that first shot. So I just lowered it there. I could see the wind was moving around a little bit, so we have a little left and right variance there, probably due to the wind. But other than that, after that first shot from that group there, I just started aiming dead center with my aim point that I selected. And it looked like we printed a group a little bit bigger than my fist, which I got small hands, so not bad for kind of breeze fluctuating on us. I'm a little fatigued. Just the front bag there. Heavy trigger, obviously. I was going to say what else. Oh, and I'm just kind of slinging them down there. I'm not going for ultimate precision like I was down here on our target. But let me take you guys down there. We'll measure out the groups on the target, and then I'll show you the impacts on that steel gong out there at 400. All right. Ooh, what we got going on there? Yeah, like I said. Anyways, let's retract here. So there's 1, 2. While I was aiming here before I had it zeroed. Edge to edge. 3/4 of an inch. Maybe slightly less, which means center to center. Obviously, it's probably about a 1/2 inch center to center. Yep, 1/2 inch on the dot. And then came over here. I messed with the scope some. We did 1, 2, 3. Edge to edge. That guy is just a hair over 3/4. Center to center. Just a hair over 1/2 inch. Then we let her cool down. Came over here. Like I said, pressure was on after that. I'm freaking fatigued. I can't wait to get on the road and get some Gatorade or something. I'm dying out here. 1, 2, 3. I think I said that's probably about a 1-inch group, which, well, it's a hair over. But again, getting fatigued out here. And then I switched up my grip method there, which I'm glad I told you guys I did, because it did cause me to shoot worse. I don't remember which shot is which, but that's clearly over 2 inches there, but that's 100% on me. So, you know, we were shooting sub MOA over here. Then we come over here. I mean, center to center, we're MOA. Edge to edge, we're a little over. But like I said, I'm having trouble even talking right now. I get real bad when I get hot and thirsty out here. So she's sub MOA all day, guys. So this is just me opening up here. I might have been able to prove on that if I hadn't switched up my grip, but it is what it is. So definitely sub MOA 3-shot groups with that more times than not if you do your part. And again, that's just with a front bag. That's no rear bag. And it's a little breezy out here today too. So all in all, I think that proves that 100% for sure with that ammo, she's a sub MOA gun. And you might even be able to squeak off a few 1/2 inch groups.
Which again, that's just crazy for a budget rifle like that with a heavy trigger and a $50 scope. Okay, and down here, we had 5 to send in it. First one went low and said, all right, I'm aiming high. Then I also said I'm aiming off to the left because of the freaking wind. And then so our second shot right there, it hit, and I'm like, ooh, we're a little high there. It was also off to the left edge, but I was aiming about here. 6.5, the wind doesn't move it too bad, but it's definitely pushing it to the right some. And then the wind died down. I dropped it, it might have been died down for that shot. I can't remember. But I seen that was high there. So I came down a little bit, and then we printed 1, 2, 3 right here. And like I said, about just a little bigger than my fist is what I told you guys. I mean, my fist is only 3.5 inches wide. I got little hands, guys, like I said. Wear a medium glove. Anyways, 1, 2, 3 right there. Fist size group at 400 yards. The wind's kind of back and forth on me there. I'm fatigued. No rear bag, and I wasn't going for precision down here, just sending them down, and there you go. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Remember, for things I cannot link to, make sure you check out my campsite page for everything else. It should be linked in the description for you there. Again, if you want to check out that scope or any of my optic reviews, visit the Parts, Accessories, and Optics playlist. Thanks for stopping by and checking this one out today, guys. I really appreciate it. Again, the original review of that, if you want to check it out, linked in the description, although the group wasn't too good. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Hit that like button. And I hope to see you on the next one.